And listen, first of all, let me just get a couple of things out of the way. Okay, number one, um, Ryan Garcia, he says a lot of dumb shit. Okay, so obviously I'm not gonna be on his side. So this is not about him. It's about, you know, like I said before, in a lot of these videos, I like to look at patterns and I like to catch patterns when it comes to just boxing or just anything. And with those patterns, that allows me to see the bigger picture of what's going on or what's being done behind the scenes. Um, and I look at it. I don't look at it in a sense of black or white or good guys versus bad guys, or this is the law and this is not the law, or this is just purely illegal. You know why? Because I know that these associations, they're not here to keep us safe. Like it's like me trying to be on the side of like cops. You know, I'm not against them, and I'm not saying that they're evil, but I'm also not saying that it's their job to protect and serve, because I know better, because I've had experiences where some of my homeboys have been tortured by people with tasers. It happened to be wearing the uniform simply because the guy wouldn't shut up. Now, I don't think that that's a good excuse to torture somebody. Okay, and a lot of people are gonna be like, yeah, that is a good excuse. If you don't shut up, you get tortured for like 30 minutes. So just think about it. Imagine your kid being tortured. If you don't have sympathy for your fellow man, for your neighbor, so just imagine if that was happening to your kid, because you know your kid sometimes doesn't shut up. You tell him, oh, this, that, and this. Sometimes he would like to talk back or anything or whatever. You're gonna tase him. You're gonna torture him for 30 minutes while your mother hears him screaming and begging them to stop. And you think that that's okay? So sometimes people lack empathy, and because of that, you have to put it in that situation. Okay, what if it was your kid? What if it was your grandfather? What if it was your dad? Someone who you think is big and strong and nothing can hurt him. What if that guy was being tortured with electricity? How would that make you feel? So okay, so now we know that these associations, these organizations, they're not on your side. Okay, the number one thing that the cops are doing is they're looking for drugs. All right, they're looking for certain stuff that they need to get off the streets. And in order to do that, they're going to be looking for statistically where they're at and where are they going to be at. These certain types of people are going to have it. So we got to get X amount of these types of people that look this certain way in order to get X amount of drugs. Now, if we don't get it, at least we still got the people that we said we were supposed to get. And it's just that's basically what it is. And I'm sorry to get into that, but I'm trying to make you understand where I'm coming from, and to understand that when I see somebody like Ryan, um, being attacked and prosecuted like this, it's something in me that just makes me want to be on his side. Okay, now, do I like the guy? No. Okay, the guy says a lot of crazy shit. He's running in certain circles that I don't agree with. Um, and I don't want to get into the weeds of things, but he's around people that I dislike just as much as I dislike him. But that's not the point, because this is bigger than Ryan Garcia. This is something that I've been seeing in boxing for a long time, and this is something that I want to talk about today. Because this is the best opportunity I have to do it. Because Ryan Garcia, he's a big name. He's a big name, and that's gonna bring a lot of eyes to the situation. And I hope that you guys come in with an open mind to this video and understand where I'm coming from. So if you hate Ryan Garcia or you dislike him, because I already told you I don't like him, leave that to the side. Okay, because I want you to understand something that has been going on in boxing for a long time. Now, the other day I saw some guy in Coach Malachi's channel. Um, I think that's the name of his show. I don't know if his show is Coach Malachi or if it's something else. But someone called in and said um, that every time a white guy pops negative, everyone defends them, and everyone goes out to defend them. But when a black guy pops negative, everybody attacks them and says they're a cheat, they're a drug cheat, this, that, and the other. But that's not my experience. Okay, that's not what I see, and maybe I'm seeing it from a different perspective, from a different angle. Maybe that's what it is. But Canelo, let's use him as an example. He got caught with clenbuterol. Now, if you know that he got it from tainted substances. But that means he ate a taco, right? He ate a taco, and he came he came positive for clenbuterol, right? He was caught. He came up positive for clenbuterol. Okay, but now take that into consideration. All right, and then you take into consideration that some of these other people caught with for example, Mayweather got caught with illegal IVs. Now, immediately people are going to try to minimize that and say, "Oh, that's just for rehydration," right? Which is not, by the way. It's not just for. There's several things that he could be doing. Number one, he could have been cycling the drugs and getting them out of his system quicker. All right, that's what those things are used for. Okay, and number two, he could have just been using it to just feel younger and stronger, but it's literally like a steroid when you do that stuff. Okay, so but people don't say that. People minimize Mayweather's being caught with IVs. Why is that? Meanwhile, Bebo just said, oh, high levels of testosterone in his system. We don't know why, but we just know that there's high levels of testosterone in his system. You know who else had high levels of testosterone in his system? This guy. They never caught him. They never said why, but he had it. You know who else had high levels of testosterone in his system? Mayweather. And we're not talking about a couple of picograms or no, we're talking about 30, 20, 25 times the normal amount that's found in normal humans. And these guys were what, 38, 35, around there. I think Bebo was 38. If you know anything about testosterone, you know that I think 30 or 35, it starts going down. It just starts going down, or it stays the same depending on what your lifestyle is like. But you got this guy, he's almost 40, and he has high levels, abnormal levels of testosterone. Okay, but I'm telling you that all of these guys have the same thing. All of these guys have those same. You could look at their graphs. You go look them up, and they will tell you they have really high levels of this, really high levels of that, and they only bring it up with Beterbiev. I hope I didn't call him Bebo a while ago, but Beterbiev. Why is that? And not just Beterbiev, just anybody that they see with high levels of it. This guy for a long time, all he was doing was drinking his piss. But all of a sudden, Memo Heredia, I know you guys know who Memo Heredia is. All of a sudden, he's in his corner, and guess what? He knocks out Pacquiao. Now, why am I bringing all of this stuff up? It's because I'm seeing a pattern, guys. I'm seeing a pattern to where there's certain people that they don't want to be the face of boxing, and they go out of their way to make them look ridiculous in front of the public eye. Right? Like, for example, why would you mention that Beterbiev has high levels, abnormally high levels of testosterone, when Most of the guys that's been in boxing have that. And you've seen it. Why would you bring that up to the public? When Mayweather had the same thing. When Mosley got caught. Like literally got caught. When Roy Jones got caught. Why would you bring it up with some people but not with other people? So from my perspective, it's the opposite of what this caller said in Coach Malachi's. It's the opposite. Americans, whether they be black, now I will say this: Mexican Americans, they're not considered, at least to boxing, they're not considered Americans. Why? Because unless they negate and talk shit about their motherland, which to Mexicans is Mexico, they're not gonna consider them Mexicans. You know, that's why Cejudo, I don't know if you guys know Henry Cejudo from MMA. That's why he's constantly telling white people, "Oh, guys, I'm American. They don't even like me in Mexico." You know, literally kind of apologizing for the way he looks. It's embarrassing, dude. Every time he has a conference, he's like taking pictures with Trump, like, "Hey guys, see, I hate my people. Can you please accept me?" It's like, bro, man, come on. It's ridiculous. If you can't hear my accent and know that I'm an American, in the way I talk, the way I dress, all of these things, if you can't deduce that yourself, then I really don't care. Then I really don't want to hang around you anyways, because you don't have a good common sense or powers of deduction. I just don't forget about it. But this is stuff that's been going on in boxing for a long time. But like I said, certain people, you know, are allowed to get away with it, and other people, they never let them forget it. Every time Oscar De La Hoya says something, somebody puts this picture up. How much do you think it'll cost for you to pay a girl like the one in this picture to get around a famous guy like Oscar De La Hoya that likes women? We all know he has that weakness. And to make him look more feminine, to make him wear this and take pictures, and then put him out to the public. And I'm pretty sure there was more pictures. They were more compromising, but they kept those on their lock, and they just said, "Hey, man, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna give us all your fighters, all right, until you're left with a couple, but we're gonna take all of them." And there ain't nothing you can do about it. You're not going to put no lawyers or nothing, or else these other pictures are going to come out. How much do you think it'll cost to do that? Because you think it was a coincidence that a lot of fighters left him and went to the PBC? Huh? And for what? Because they hated the guy. Because the guy was successful in and outside of the ring. They just hated his guts. It's plain and simple as that. All right, and I'm not saying that Oscar is an angel, because I'm pretty sure there's a reason why they hate him. A lot of people say he's not a good dude. But listen, if you're successful, a lot of times you're gonna have to step on a couple of toes, and shove some people out of the way, and they're not gonna like you. That's just the way it is, especially in the society we live here in the U.S. You know, so it's the same thing with this guy. This guy just beat somebody. He's like the most popular boxer in the U.S. right now, and probably around the world. Okay, and he happens to look like this other guy that they didn't like either. Just think about it. You can see the patterns here, and they're not what this guy was saying. It's the opposite. Now, some of you are going to say, okay, the law is the law, and he broke the law, so that means that But you gotta understand, the law can be changed all the time, bro. All the time to either attack certain people or defend certain people. And that's either done through money because of politics or, whatever. Look at Mayweather. Mayweather used to be on a drug called Xylocaine or something like that. Xylocaine. And the only way he would get away with it is because it was illegal in Vegas. He would always fight in Vegas. Right? And who do you think made it legal in Vegas? Floyd Mayweather. And how did he do that? How do you think he did it? Money. Money Mayweather. So you start to realize that the law is not on your side. So stop bringing up the law like it's this perfect thing that it's unmovable. And no, bro. The same way you're using the law to attack this guy, it's the same way it's going to be used to attack you and yours. So just remember that it's going to come back. It's going to come back around. Right now, certain people are being attacked, and it's obvious to me who they are. Because this guy ate a taco, and they won't let him forget it. But meanwhile, you got all these other legends that I just mentioned. And nobody gives a crap about those guys doing it. So like I said, it's like I see these patterns and I look at it and I realize there's certain people that they just don't want to be the face of boxing. Canelo, they've been after him for a while. Now, I know you guys follow history, hopefully. And you guys know who Al Capone is. And you guys remember Al Capone, he used to be one of the first pushers. Right? He was a kingpin. And he would, move. Well, back in the day, it wasn't drugs. It was alcohol. And it was gambling. And it was all of these stuff that were illegal. But he was doing it on the underground. He was making money that way. Moonshine, gambling, prostitution, transportation, stuff like that. Stuff that really now wouldn't be that illegal. But that's because they wanted the government to do it, not some random guy from Chicago or wherever he's from. So it's always been this constant struggle between the people, the gangsters, and the government, right? Now I'm getting to a point here. They could never catch Al Capone or nothing because they couldn't catch him. He was just too slick. He would get away with it all the time. He would flush it out of his system, like a lot of these fighters do. So they couldn't catch him. So what did they do? They caught him on other things. Oh, he wears fishnets. Now, in the case of Al Capone, it was tax fraud, tax evasion. Right? In the case of Oscar De La Hoya, it's this shit, and cocaine, and beer. In the case of Canelo, it's tacos. Right? In the case of Ryan Garcia, it's a milligram of something. They say, oh, that's when you got to listen to what they say, because when they say, oh, but that's 6 times the amount allowed by VADA, allowed by VADA. But sir, can I ask a question? Yeah, scientifically, does that mean that he gets any benefits during the fight? That's not what we're saying. We're just saying that we don't allow. Okay, so can you change that just for this? Yeah, we could change it, but you got to pay us. But the thing is, why did you bring it up in the first place? Like, for example, let's go over here to Beterbiev. Why did they mention that when it's so common in boxing? Think about it. Why did they mention that Beterbiev has abnormal levels of testosterone when it's so normal, when these two guys over here had the same, but they never mentioned it on them? Think about it. Now, I know why. I just don't, like, bro, boxing is just fabricated, dude. And it starts to you start to realize, like, a lot of these guys were And that's the same thing they tried to do with Wilder. Wilder was fabricated too. We haven't had a world champion for so long. They try to make one. It's right there in front of you, dude. It's right there in front of you. I just can't see. I can't believe nobody else is seeing this, bro. And we're gonna see, what the punishment brings, and that's gonna let us see. Because listen, these other guys, they're still champions. They're still legends. Nothing got reversed from anything. No decisions were reversed from what I could tell. Nobody took away their championships. Nobody took away their Hall of Fame. Nobody took away their victories from nothing. Except for I think maybe Baby Miller, but he's fat. But my thing is, it's fine. Okay, you don't have to treat everybody the same way. That's fine. Okay. But I want you guys to understand that for me it's clear. It's clear as day. It's so hard for some of these guys to even get a decision. They have to knock people out. They have to drink their own piss. When other people are allowed to do whatever they want. Including Pacquiao, by the way, because people are like, "Oh, Pacquiao was never caught." It doesn't matter, bro. It does not matter if he was ever caught. I'm telling you, bro. Certain people are allowed. Let's talk about Pacquiao. Okay, let's say he never got caught. All right. If you know anything about how the body works, there's different types of bodies. Okay, there's people that can last a long time. All right, we're gonna say this guy and this guy. Okay, usually they come from mountainy areas, from places where it's either really cold or really high up. Why? Because their lungs are naturally intaking, are stressing to get more oxygen. So when they come down to regular ground level, they just last longer. They're like Superman. But there's certain other people. Usually they come from tropic or areas or like islands, or places where it's more tropical, right? These guys usually have explosiveness, and I'm just telling you what I see. Okay, like for example, Puerto Ricans and Filipinos. Places like this, places where it's more tropical, where there's more heat, but there's also more like an island type of environment, more jungly maybe, right? These people usually are more explosive. They're fast and they're powerful. Excuse me. Okay, but the problem with those people is that they down the stretch they start falling apart. Their gas tank isn't very good. For the same reason that they're so explosive, their gas tank isn't very good. Okay, and I know I've talked about this before. So, and then Pacquiao is one of these guys. Now, early on in his career, you can go back and look at it. This is on tape. Early on in his career, that's what he was doing. He was surprising everybody with his high levels of explosiveness. He was knocking a lot of people out in the first rounds, and down or out. In the first couple of rounds, he would get rid of most of them, and most of them were Mexicans. Okay. I'm not going to get into the politics of that, but let's put it this way. There's a lot of Mexican executioners or Mexicutioners in boxing. All of them got knocked out by Mexicans. And it's very famous to do that. And you could do with that what you want, but it's true. Okay, that's another one that you could add to what I'm talking about. I mean, it's very obvious to me, dude. I don't see how you guys don't see it. But anyways, in the beginning of his career, Pacquiao was, you know, knocking a lot of people out in the first round. But then he met this one guy. Where is he? He's right over here. His name is Juan Manuel Marquez from Mexico City. No, is he from Mexico? Where is he from? Romanza, maybe, or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, um, and this guy had a tank, right? And he was almost like the combination king. He was really good at combinations. Um, in my opinion, he's one of the best combination fighters that I've ever seen. But anyways, in their first fight with Pacquiao, Pacquiao faded down the stretch, and that's when people found out. Okay, he has problems. Pacquiao has problems with his gas tank. He could do really good for about maybe 4 rounds, and then after that he starts to fade away down the stretch, which means that, like always, the explosive fighter fades away down the stretch. Look at Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, very explosive. He had that body type, explosive style body type, right? Very explosive, but usually he would fade down the stretch, and most of the times he would get knocked out, down the stretch. It usually happens to explosive fighters, right? The more explosive you are, the worse you are later on in the fight. Conor McGregor is another example. I don't know if I've given that example before, but Conor McGregor is extremely explosive. Speed, power, check, explosive, boom, ba. But guess what? If you could get past that first or second round, you're gonna do pretty well against Conor McGregor, especially if you have like a good gas tank yourself. And there's countless examples like this. Okay, now Pacquiao, when he fought Marquez the first time, Marquez fought him to a draw. Okay, which was incredible to me. I think maybe Pacquiao should have won because there was so many knockdowns, But he didn't. He literally did not win a round after that first round. And I rewatched it over and over. Maybe he would have won one, and that would have. It was like a toss-up round. But my point is, if you look at this trilogy, you'll start realizing that Pacquiao moved up in weight. It's almost like he was running away from Marquez. And as he moves up in weight, he starts gaining better conditioning. And how does that make sense? How does it make sense, guys? Just think about that logically, guys. I want you to do an experiment. I want you to, if you have weights, or if you have like a heavy backpack, or let one of your kids borrow a backpack and put some weight in the backpack. And first, I want you to run for a short distance. Whatever is short to you, run for a short distance, as fast as you can, sprint, and then stop, run back, and get that backpack with the weight on it and put it on, and then run again as fast as you can. You're gonna feel a difference. And the difference is that your gas tank is going to be drained way more. And if for a guy that's already explosive and already has trouble with their gas tank, to move up in weight and gain a better gas tank is impossible. Scientifically, it's impossible unless you're on something. And that's what Mayweather saw. That's why he brought it up. He's like, nah, he Mayweather was like, nah, that guy's on steroids because I'm on it too. So what am I saying, guys? Am I saying, what's the solution? Am I saying like ban everybody, or the solution, in my opinion, is for the people to know, first of all, because I can't tell them what to do because they're not going to listen to me, right? But I could tell the people to think, use your brains, and know that, the Vada's whole shtick is we're better than the New York State Commission. We're better than the Texas Boxing State Commission. We're better than Las Vegas State Commission, um, because we know how to test better. Whatever we do these tests, um, and that makes them pure, and that makes them incorruptible to the eyes of some people, not to me. You know, um, it's obvious that they're not being fair. And like I said, certain people get attacked, or not even attacked. They just mention something, like coincidentally, oh, I just wanted to say that there's a little bit of estrogen here. So, is it does it affect in the fight? Does it help him fight? Not really. It's too little to do any effect, but it's illegal. Ah, okay, okay, cool, 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 cool. Okay, I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. It's right in front of you, and the thing is, um, one thing is the law, another thing is justice, another thing is what's right and what's wrong. Like, for them, the solution would be to eliminate VADA, eliminate WADA, YADA, all of these ADAs. There's no reason for it other than to keep a certain level of hypocrisy within the boxing game. So, and that's what it is. They use it to attack other people, the people that they want to attack, and they use it to defend people that they want to defend. And really, it's just like a theater for people that believe that there's such thing as safe fighters, or not safe fighters, clean fighters. And I think that those sciences that are being used to catch people should instead be used to help people find the right PEDs and the right amount of stuff to be within using it safely in boxing, instead of using it to accuse one another. Everybody's pointing fingers at that guy or this guy, that guy. Yeah. But I know they're not going to do that. I know they're not going to do that because they're not that smart. They're just thinking about the next dollar that they can make. And that's really what VADA is all about. You really think that they're all about, oh, we believe in keeping the sport safe. Come on, bro. Come on. Can't be that naive. But when it comes to Ryan, it's like, circling back to that, we'll see what happens. To me, like I said, there's one thing is the law, one thing is legality, and that is determined. You can change it all the time, like I told you already, depending on who they want to protect or who they want to attack. And another thing is, did it affect them within the fight? Did it help them within the fight? And to me, the answer is no. But having said that, he is going to receive a punishment. I think he should, but the punishment is going to show me a lot, and it's going to let me know what's up in the sport. I mean, I already know what's up, but this is just going to confirm it to me personally. Yeah.